Hi YouTube, welcome to my new channel 3D Printers and a Whiteboard. Some of you may know me from the community Discord of Rhetoric Printers. My nickname there is Marshall Mark, which is my real name, so it's not really a nickname, but you can find me there. And I decided to start a new channel here on YouTube just because lately we had a lot of discussions in the Discord where I thought it might be helpful to do small tutorials on specific stuff and I also like to give input to some discussions sometimes. That's where the whiteboard part comes in, basically, because I want to do some explainers, some scientific background checks to stuff, because I think it's sometimes worth to also add some foundation to what we have as anecdotal experiences in 3D printing, which often become a rule of thumb for the whole community, jumping on an idea and implementing it to every printer out there. And over the years, it becomes then less important to communities, and then we see, okay, it was just a false assumption. And so I think it's worth to sometimes do a little bit of background check and trying to understand what is really going on. And about myself, I worked in computational physics. I'm also a software developer. I tend to look at things in a very scientific way, which sometimes means to do a lot of work to get little outcome. And sometimes it means to do a little bit of work and get huge outcome. I'm part of the Rhetoric development team, but I don't speak for Rhetoric here. I'm here as a private person. I'm also not employed by Rhetoric. I'm just part of the development team in terms of I'm spending free time there. I'm having fun with the people there, and we discuss things about printers. We try to update those printers and develop new ones. But in the end, I'm just there to give feedback and have fun. And I recently had the pleasure to work together a little bit with Paweł on the EVA 3 release, which was 1 or 2 weeks ago, something like that. And you could have seen me in the release video there, maybe, where I talked about the volcano duct. The kind of videos you will see here will be different ones. So we will have the videos where I'm which are just instructional manual type of video, guide type of videos. I'm sorry. Like, I think the first video will actually be how to get a flat bed surface in a vCore 3, because this came up a lot recently, and I see people struggling and rebuilding their frames. And it will be a really simple step-by-step guide how to achieve 0.2 millimeters on a vCore 500 without spending much time, which I think is really helpful. Then there will be other videos, I think, talking about EVA again. We will again work on the ducts. For EVA 3.1, we plan to increase cooling performance for all kinds of hot and still volcano type ones, the normal sized ones, the mosquito, which probably will end up with a specific duct because of its wide heat block, which requires a little bit of a different angle coming in, which is sometimes hard to achieve within specs and limitations. When you start a design from scratch, it's pretty easy often, but something like EVA has to fit for many different combinations of hardware and has to fit printers that are already existing. So it cannot just increase in width by a few centimeters or something like that to increase cooling performance. And then we will have a look at the inlets, and I think I will do a small step series about how currently I think, first of all, what is it what we want in a duct as a first video, because I think there's a lot more to it than saying it just should cool the maximum performance, get the maximum cooling performance. There's a lot more to it, and I think I'll try to establish a baseline, what I think will be needed in a good Duct, and then we will wait. I will wait for feedback of the community if people will watch the video, and we will see if the ideas are the same, or if people actually want something different from the Duct than I expect. And then we will do some videos about how do we actually measure Duct performance, and one video about the idea of, in terms of fluid dynamics. So we'll look at the fluid dynamics of a specific type of Duct, the Duct which we will end up using. I will try to explain the ideas behind it, the testing, the results, and the idea behind that again is to enable others to increase the performance in future, because it's never the goal to get out the best and then leave it like that and tell everybody, hey, I did that. What I want is to give something out and to say, hey, that's my idea behind it, and maybe you can do it better. Or maybe you have a totally different idea, but you can just learn a little bit from this approach, and then it was a win already. And what I don't think we will see here will be streams of me building printers or something like that. There are YouTubers out there who can do that much better than I would be able to. Not because I think I can't build printers, but because I don't think I'm a content creator, and that's not the goal of this channel. The last thing is that I want to give input to discussions, like, for example, backgrounds to, and that's where the whiteboard part comes in, background discussions to, let's say, the Maxwell mount in a 3D printer. Why is the Maxwell mount popular? How does it work? There was big discussions about the angles of the bed arms in the past. I think I will do a little bit of theoretical roundup. If they are important, what is the ideal angle for something like 3D printer, not necessarily for a common solution for all systems. This channel won't be getting uploads in really short amount of times. I don't plan on becoming a active YouTuber in that regard. I just want to add another medium to typing. Maybe it's also nice for some people to see a face and not only read what I write, because writing sometimes is often really short, and maybe the tone is also not always the tone I want to have, actually. Because shortened sentences may sound harsh and something like that. I'm all about giving input in general. And yes, I also like to point out things I believe that are wrong. Generally, just to keep in mind, I'm not representing rhetoric in any way. I get a little bit of insight to the work of rhetoric on specific areas of the work of rhetoric, of course, only. And my point of view is probably pretty flawed from that in many regards. When people say something is not good with the printer, and I have 10 of those printers running here, and they are all running fine, of course, my first reaction often is like, what's the issue? It works for me. While for a printer that I don't use that much, I also built a Voron V2.4, for example. I don't question the community input that hard, maybe. I don't know. I try to free myself from that, but I guess in the end it happens. And so just take it as opinions from somebody with this background and nothing more. And yeah, let's see how we end here. Let's see where we will be in a year, if this channel will still exist, or if I just upload stuff to discussions we have in Discord, and to make it an easier explainer than writing down novels of stuff. And thank you for being interested if you're still here. Of course, this is not a monetary channel here, so feel free to, if you like stuff from this environment, feel free to look at Eva RatOS, which is done by Mikkel Schmidt. Eva Paweł Kucmus. I hope I pronounce your name right, Paweł. I'm sorry if not. Yes, those are the people where you can look at if you want to have positive impact on the development of the future in the printers, and maybe you want to PayPal people or something like that. I think that's where you want to go. That's not what we will do here. I'm just here to start discussions, or maybe give input to already running discussions and help out in a small amount of stuff. This won't be a community experience, is basically what I'm trying to say. It won't be something you will watch the whole Sunday after evening while tinkering on your printer and listening to me with my German accent talking about stuff while I screw in some extrusions. I don't think this will happen. And yes, have a good time for now. I hope you're all fine these days. It's still nothing seems to be as it was before for many people. And yeah, see you around.